Oh, wait a second. I got to unmute you. That's my job. I get confused there. Okay, John, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is J5. Um, I am just looking for the live feed for Leighton's Loft so I can jump in there. There it is. Okay.
Welcome
All right, now I
everyone
can
to
switch my weight.
Leighton's Loft. Yeah.
All right, let's see you later.
I'll see you, J5.
Yep.
Hey, James, how you doing? Brandon, how's it going? Good to see you guys. Everybody chime in.
55.
You got it. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Loft. How are you today, Lou?
I'm doing very well. Glad to have you back.
Yeah, so am I. It's been quite the journey, that's for sure. Yeah, we're all good.
You had quite a buy there last week.
Yeah, we've been making some really nice buys. And for those that didn't know, with all the changes in my life, I was looking for a new place. And I just solidified one, and I moved in yesterday, Lou.
Nice.
I moved back to Hoboken, New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
Which is not only a place where I've lived before, but also is the real birthplace of baseball.
Oh, that's right.
If you do your research.
Mhm.
And they have amazing Italian sandwiches. You can eat and drink till your heart's content. And they even have tennis courts very close to my house. I'm very excited.
Very nice. So you like the place? You're happy with the place?
Yes, and Crosby will be coming over today to check it out as well. So we're kind of getting him settled, and I know we're both very excited for our new home.
Oh, he gets a whole new room to decorate, right?
Yeah, exactly, and all that fun
nice.
stuff. The supermarket's around the corner, so he'll never be without a snack that he likes. So
Nice.
it's all good. We're pumped.
They love having that room there that they can just decorate and do the way they want to do. Just
nice
little...
and there's a cool kitchen, so we're going to be able to, like, we bought a cake together the other day. We're going to try to bake.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, Maxwell's is closed, but there's still really good live music throughout Hoboken weekly. And then there's just there's a very active social scene, whether it be you like wine or you like arts and crafts or you like the gym. I mean, it's just, it's a very vibrant, community for only being 1 square mile.
It's only 1 square mile?
Yep.
Is it a town or is it a neighborhood? It's a town,
city.
right?
It's the city of Hoboken.
City. 1 square mile. Wow.
Yep.
Next door to us, we had have a place called Lawrence. It's only 6 square miles, and I thought that was small.
Yeah, no, this will beat it.
Yeah, wow.
Yep. And believe it or not, it was, of course, because of the limited availability, was it difficult to find a place because it's only 1 square mile.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
So, but thanks to each and every one of you for tuning in today to Leighton's Loft. We are going to give away 3 nice prizes. We have Ethan behind the scenes keeping track. So for those of you who are new to the show, welcome. For you vets, you know the way it works. If you say hi and comment during our show, you will be entered into our giveaway. You have a chance to win one of 3 prizes. First place today, gang, is this really cool. Let me switch up. This is fresh from a collection that we recently bought. And I'm trying to switch. It is not letting me. Oh, there we go. Can you see that on the screen, Lou?
Yes.
It is a 1933 Gaudi Bill Terry. It's a low number Hall of Famer. That will be first place on today's show. Second place will be a 1979 Topps hockey set spot, and third place will be a 1971 Topps baseball set spot.
What was third place again?
Third place is a 1971 baseball set spot.
Okay.
And we'll give these prizes away, folks, right on our Vintage Break stream as it starts around the 2 o'clock area today with J5, as Sam is out not feeling so hot. What's up, James, Chris? Hey, Mike. Glad you're tuning in today. Oh, there you go, Daniel. Well, I hope you win this Bill Terry. As I said, this is a pretty cool first place prize for today's Leighton's Loft.
Hi, Mike. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in. Oh, yeah, James. Go Phillies. Yeah, absolutely.
Phillies up 2-1, and I was only watching a little bit of it yesterday on the gentleman's phone next to me at the restaurant. We're all kind of enjoying. Well, like no one likes the Astros in the East. So it's like, as a Yankee fan, why would you not cheer for the Phillies? As a Mets fan, I could see maybe why you wouldn't cheer for the Phillies.
Oh, yeah. Yankees hate the Astros, don't they?
Yeah,
Yankees
so it's very easy to become a pseudo Phillies fan for the time being.
Even though New York and Philadelphia is almost worse than Boston and New York, right, in terms of rivalries.
Yeah. So we got a bunch of stuff to cover for today. Of course, lots going on in the sports world, but we're going to stick to cards today because I haven't been on in a little bit, and I want to share with you some exciting stuff. This next card I'm going to show you, Lou, I recently acquired it from Bill from the Vintage Breaks community, and I'm going to pull out my phone because Ethan did a really nice job of writing it up on Instagram and talking about the difference in the pop report as far as between 1914 and 1915. So right here, we are holding a 1914 Cracker Jack Eddie Plank. To me, it's one of the most attractive cards in the set. And for those of you who do not know a lot about the Cracker Jack issue from 1914 and 1915, the 1914 issue is much more difficult to find, and much more difficult to find in high grade. And the reason being, Lou, is because in 1914, you had to collect these, beautiful turn-of-the-century specimens, one painstaking pack of Cracker Jacks at a time.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But in 1915, you were able to order the whole set for like 25 cents and a few coupons and send away for it to the Cracker Jack company. So, for example, in our research, and I thought it was going to be a wider disparity, but there's been, of the 1915 Cracker Jacks, so the year after, there's been 76 graded examples of the Eddie Plank, and 29 of them are PSA 6 and higher. For the 1914 example, which I'm showing you right here, there's only 41 total graded Eddie Planks, so about half.
Wow.
And believe it or not, only 6 of them have graded 6 or higher.
Hmm.
So once again, much more difficult to find, and much more difficult to find in high grade. It was the caramel, Tom, not the peanuts necessarily. Yeah.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, what's up, Bill? Yeah, so I'm real excited about this because I didn't have a great Eddie Plank in my collection, and getting it from a community member is really cool. And then if I had to choose for whatever it's worth, a 1914 or a 1915, I'd much rather have the 1914 because I knew it's much more difficult.
Right. I like the Gaudis. That's a great set.
It is. Interesting question for a community. Do you folks prefer a 33 Gaudi card or the Cracker Jacks? Tough to decide.
Yeah.
That is true, Daniel. So years ago when I was starting to deal with Cracker Jacks, you wouldn't grade a Cracker Jack unless it was graded like a 3. And now you'll grade any Cracker Jack. Like a 1, an authentic, it doesn't matter. So per Daniel's point, there's not a lot of raw Cracker Jacks out there anymore.
Yep. And I meant Cracker Jacks, not Gaudi. I think I said Gaudi.
Yeah.
I get confused.
Cracker Jack for Mike every time. Interesting. What's up, Nick? Nick, what do you think? Gaudi or Cracker Jack? Just in terms of design, not value, anything like that.
Oh, and design? Yeah.
Yeah, so just design, Lou. What's your take?
Cracker Jack. More
I think
iconic.
the Cracker Jack is very striking.
Yeah.
Right? Because the brand means something. Like, in other words, where it says Big League on the Gaudi, is that cool? Big League chewing gum? Yes. Cracker Jack ball players.
Come on, Christopher. You got to take a stance here. We're all having fun here.
Yeah, exactly. There's no right or wrong.
No right or wrong. Plus, again, the whole aspect of the Cracker Jacks, just collecting them singularly for a while is fascinating. It gives it a much better legacy.
Yeah, Cracker Jacks are so difficult to buy or complete as a set that, as you just mentioned, they're collected a lot more on a singular level. So I thought that was some interesting stats. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it is Leighton_Sheldon. Next piece of collecting news. So I had lunch with Lou. Have you ever seen the movie A Christmas Story?
Yes, I have.
Okay. For those in our audience, has anyone out there seen The Christmas Story?
Well, everybody's seen A Christmas Story.
That's what I think. But
you shoot your eye out. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, he gets his tongue stuck on the flagpole.
Yeah.
So anyway, Flick in that movie is Scott Schwartz, and he was gracious enough to sign this photo for us. I triple dog dare you. Signed Scott Schwartz Flick. And what's kind of fun is that both these guys, him and Ralphie, are going to be in the new movie.
I was
A
going to ask if
Christmas
he was in
Story.
the new movie. Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas Story Christmas. So it comes out Thanksgiving week. And I don't want to misquote, but I will confirm with Scott. Scott and I just had lunch the other day, and we know each other through some mutual friends, and he's also from New Jersey. He was in for the Chiller event.
Mm-hmm.
And so Thanksgiving is on November 24th. He's going to be in town. He's going to be making an appearance at our store, signing autographs the week that the movie comes out, the week of Thanksgiving. And he's going to be at our store on that Saturday talking about the movie, as well as signing autographs. So you'll be able to buy, autographs from him if you'd like to meet him, all that kind of good stuff.
Did you get a feel for what his relationship is with the character and the iconicness of this movie? And I mean, that's his life right now. this shot.
I mean,
is
listen,
his life.
he was set up at the convention, and he had his wares on display, and his wares are all photos related to the movie. And to be fair, he's trying to capitalize on the new movie coming out.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's a great movie, and Scott's very entertaining if you've never met him or heard him. So stay tuned over the next few days. We're going to give away a signed photo from him to someone in our Vintage Breaks community.
Oh, very nice.
So if you'd like to know more information, drop me a line, Leighton@justcollect.com. But we're looking to have him in our store on November 26th on Saturday. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I think it's going to be fun too.
I didn't ask him. I feel like his dad actually still does have a card store in California, but I asked him if he was still affiliated with, and he said no. I think him being on the road, I think it's a full-time job.
Yep. But if his dad had a card store, he has to have some kind of connection to it, I would imagine.
Oh, I mean, I suspect that he does.
Yep.
Yeah, I suspect that he does. So the next group of cards I wanted to show off, and I want to remind folks with these cards that, PSA prices that they charge to get cards graded are coming down.
Oh, good.
Oh, Nick, I'm hoping to come to the expo next Thursday, and I have to leave Friday evening, so I have to be back for Saturday morning. So, yes, I'll let everyone know, but I believe that's what I'm going to do, Nick. Are you going to be going? Hope so. That'd be cool. Yeah, the Toronto Expo is awesome.
Yep. Toronto's a great city. Oh, God.
It is.
Yeah.
So, as far as PSA goes and their prices, prices are continuing to settle down, and it's very good for dealers. It's very good for collectors. So these are just, and obviously there's a few Hall of Famers, but Hall of Famers aside, this is a really nice group, Lou, of Polar Bear Tito 6s. Okay?
Oh, wow.
They're not high grade, but they're still, they're great.
Yep.
Very cool. So I've been waiting to get these slabbed, and even though I love SGC holders, I was waiting to get these slabbed with PSA. By the way, I'm collecting the David Brain type back. So I have a few in my collection. I'll be keeping that polar bear. But Lou, polar bears are a little bit more difficult to find than the other backs, like that are more common, like Sweet Cap and Piedmont. And so I figured with the registry being what it is, things that look like VG and a little bit higher were worth it to get slabbed with PSA. But I wasn't going to pay the crazy prices. So this is just a perfect example of sitting on stuff for PSA.
Yeah.
But like when you sit on cards like this versus when you are, sitting on modern, which just oscillates so much in price, it's a lot easier to sit on vintage and do that.
A little more consistent. Yeah. So this kind of answers the question I was going to have. Have people collected T206 collections with a specific back, or do people attempt to do that? Is that even possible?
Great question, Lou. So some people have tried to put together like a Sovereign back set or a polar bear back set. But, generally, of course, it's difficult, and they may not make a back for every card. So it's widely known for Sovereign back that there's X amount of different cards in the set with a Sovereign back. And so you need that to complete the run.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But make sure you're going through your boxes because now the PSA's prices are a little bit more reasonable. It's time to consider maybe getting some of those cards that have been on the sidelines graded.
Excellent. Yeah, if you've been holding off, now's the time to jump in.
Absolutely. So next thing I wanted to do is show off this group of graded cards, and they're all priced out. The prices on them, Lou, are the prices that they're going to be listed for on eBay.
Okay.
We put them in our store for like a day or two, put them on social from our store. And so what I want to do is I want to show them to the Vintage Breaks community. If anyone is interested, I, of course, will save you the eBay fees.
Okay.
And if you're a valuable member of our community, you could probably talk turkey and maybe save you a few extra dollars, or if you'd like to work out a trade. So my point is, Lou, these are first come, first serve, and I won't list them for a couple days on eBay. So if they're interested, Lou, drop me a line personally. Email me, Leighton, Leighton, at justcollect.com.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to show off the stack, Lou.
So these are going up on eBay or are up now?
They're going to be going up on eBay.
Okay.
But if they want to act now or over the next few days and get a better price and have first access, that's why we're showing them here.
Let's sell one on the show.
That'd be cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So here's a really nice 57 Clemente and a 5. We did an SGC reveal of these on my Instagram account. Tito 6 McGraw,
Okay.
just a regular Piedmont back. Last card in the 41 play ball set, Lefty Gomez, Yankee Hall of Famer. Although it's just the one, I've seen a lot worse ones, Lou, than this one of a Pee Wee Reese rookie.
John showed us one, but that was too soon ago to be graded already, maybe, or was that graded just recently? Yeah,
I was graded recently. This is my favorite Jackie card because it's the last card of his career, and you're able to see his stats. Really sharp mantle, a little bit off center left to right, but other than that, very sharp. 54 Bowman mantle, crease across the middle, a little bit of back damage on the corners you can see.
he even had a good autograph. I mean, all his cards look great, but he had a great autograph too.
56 mantle, Triple Crown year in a 3. Zach Wheat. Nolan Ryan, rookie.
Yeah.
Bobby Lane, rookie. And then super cool set, 1948 Topps Magic Photos, with these tiny little photo cards that, when exposed to sunlight, like would develop.
Right.
And they made boxers, they made dogs, they made wrestlers, they made all sorts of different types of cards in that set.
Nice. So people can look at them and just collect in a bit, but they can also make an offer now if they want to email you.
Yes, they can. All right, Lou, so this is how we're going to finish up the show today. I bought a collection. We've been buying a lot, so it's hard to keep it straight. But we bought a collection. Here, let me switch for a second. I just tried to switch back a little. Let me know if that worked out great. So we bought a collection in the last week or so in our office store, whatever you'd like to call it, here in New Jersey in Millburn. And the gentleman called me with, purportedly 60s and, what's up, Jeremy? 60s and 70s sets. And it sounded great. No mention of anything earlier. So on the one hand,
so this was an by the way.
Yeah, on the one hand, the bulk stuff, it turns out he thought it was worth more and, yada, yada, yada. So, I'll explain to you how it all panned out in the end. But binder number 1, which I'll just show off right here. He's got, maybe 11 binders, 10 binders, a dozen binders. And so, I open it up. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. You don't see that many binders that have Gaudis in the sheets anymore.
Ooh, yeah.
So, let's see if I can kind of give you a sneak peek. You got some play balls there. More Gaudis, strip cards, diamond stars. So,
I'm leaning over trying to look around.
Yeah, we're talking about the collection.
Yeah.
What's up, Kev? And I'm doing my valuation. And he's like, oh, I guess when you're writing, that's a good sign. Because, I'm taking notes so I can give him a proper valuation. And I didn't know if he was messing around with me, but I'm looking through. So on the Gaudis, there were no Ruths and no Gehrigs, but thankfully we had that other dude with 22 Ruths and Gehrigs, so we're okay. And I'm like, do you know what you have in this binder? Like, have you seen, rounders? Like, are you slow rolling me? He's like, well, I know I have some cards of value. I'm like, cards of value? You got a Ted Williams rookie in the sheet in your binder, which you have other cards that are worth $2.
Yeah.
So can you just explain to me the rhyme and the reason? So this is interesting. He says that there's really two parts of the collection. This is when it starts to become clear to me that we might have something really good on our hands.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So he's like, well, the 60s and 70s cards are mine. But he's like, the cards from the 30s, to be honest, it's like one of those where you see a good-looking woman and you don't hear after a certain point, you just don't hear anything else.
Right. Yeah. Mine goes numb. Yep.
So the guy's telling me something, and I'm like, what? I don't really understand. You didn't tell me anything about Gaudis. I deal with cards for a living. You're not mentioning to me that you have National Chickle football cards, which are as rare can be in the football realm. He's, telling me some details of some kind, which will be in our blog on our website at blog.justcollect.com. But make no mistake, I don't know what he said. Because you're sitting here looking through a binder with hundreds of cards for the 30s. And I'm like, you might want to lead with that next time. So we're going through the collection, and I start with this binder. And I'm taking a lot of notes, which I'm going to show you all in just a minute or two, a couple of the highlights. And fast forward, inventorying the rest of the collection. And then, I'm looking in the distance. I'm like, oh my God, that's Rocky Waters. So I don't like when this happens in a deal.
Yeah.
So he's like, you're telling me that, I'm making it up, this handful of cards is worth $8,000. And you're telling me that all those other cards are worth $2,000. I'm like, well, they're not valued by the pound.
Right. Yeah.
That's not how it works. But I'm having fun with him while we're doing this. I don't, get agitated. I just try to enjoy myself.
No, he's a little bit unclear on the concept.
Yeah. And so this is when, and this really, the way that I handle collections, right? It makes sense to me, but it may not make sense to everyone else. It's arduous, it's slow, but it is methodical. Yep. So what happens is when we get to the end and you're talking the real turkey, the real dollars and cents, then all of a sudden it's like, believe me, you never know what could happen. Yeah. Someone throws out, oh my God, my Uncle Jimmy's going to really miss him. I'm like, well, where's Uncle Jimmy? Well, Uncle Jimmy died 17 years ago, but Uncle Jimmy's going to really miss him. I'm like, is that code for you want to get paid more? He's like, no, Uncle Jimmy's just going to really miss him. I'm like, no. Is that code that you want to get paid more, or you're being I don't really get it. So, like I said, I try to have some fun. And what I ultimately figured out with these folks and this gentleman, there was two portions of the collection. There was a collection that he collected himself, which he was allowed to sell lock, stock, and barrel. Mm-hmm. And then on the flip side, he's like, oh, my sister Susie's got her hand in this pocket. My cousin Billy's got his hand in this pocket. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. What I can do, I can definitely tell you is I'll give you a free evaluation, which I think will be very valuable to you and your family, and so on and so forth. We go forward and we do that. What's up, Brandon? I wouldn't say poop, but we work very hard in trying to find collections, and we can talk about it in future episodes. We've done that here as well. If you arm yourself with the expertise, if you market yourself, if you start to talk to people in your community, you'll be surprised, but eventually you'll become known as the baseball card guy or person in your community, and it'll be a little bit easier. But for us, we do it on the web, so it's wide reaching. Yep. So we go through, we do the whole evaluation, and I'm gonna do a little imitation. Even if he watches, it's all good fun.
Okay.
You know who Bill Burr is, right?
Yes, I do.
So I've been listening to him, and really it makes me, poop my pants.
I love Bill Burr. Yeah. Yep.
So at one point we're going through the collection, and I'm like, so this is my valuation. This is what we can pay for it. And he looked, like a little bit confused or, maybe even unsettled. He's like, that's, not really what I was thinking. I'm like, oh, okay. What were you thinking? Well, I was just, I don't know. I was, thinking more.
It's not a bad Bill Burr, actually, right there.
No, I know. I'm saying I'm a little nervous because
Yeah.
I'm doing it in front of you guys, but like, give me a drink, Lou. I'm telling you, I nail it pretty well.
That's not
Because I
bad.
know his voice. He gets into this thing when he like tries to talk like with his wife and there's this whole
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, maybe I'll try one more today. I can't go too nuts.
You got to be leaning on a mic stand when you do it.
Yeah, exactly. So he goes, yeah, I think it's a little more. And I'm like, oh, like, where's your research? Like, do you have any evidence?
Yeah.
Well, I was looking around that thing called the internet and like the World Wide Webs, and I'm like, do you feel because you have a lot of cards they're worth more? Like we're weighing them by the pounds? Just clarify with me.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you laughing. Give me some feedback about the Bill Burr imitation.
Oh, good.
So thank you. So what I realized was by being present, and now like, you guys know at this point of several of you what I'm kind of been going through, what I am going through, what I will be going through,
Yep.
right? But more than ever, it's easy to be present. It's easy to be authentic. And I said, what I hear you saying, sir, is that you might want to sell some of it, but not all of it. And he's like, well, and he's explaining to me, and I'm very patient with this stuff. Like I try to have fun, I tease people, etc.
Yeah.
I like to be teased. And I'm like, listen, you should sell the stuff that's going to get you a bunch of money. And the other stuff divide up amongst the grandkids.
Yep.
So ultimately what we figured out was his cards from the 60s and 70s, he didn't have complete sets. So in 1975 Topps, he had 450 different cards, which is super cool if you're a collector and you want to build the 75 set as a project of yours. But that's not what we want to do.
Right.
We want to have a complete set that I can either sell as a set or flip it or who knows what. But like having 450 cards, Lou, is actually, I explained it to him as this. It's the truth. It's a business problem.
Yeah.
Because it's not worth enough to actually figure out the 100 or 200 cards that are missing and make a list. It's clearly worth more than zero. You think it's worth a bunch. And I'm explaining to you that I can't invest the labor to figure out what cards are missing. So I think it's worth X. And so
and there's no real gold in there. There's some valuable cards, but there isn't that nugget that is going to make that collection worthwhile.
Speaking of that set, this is something that really helps me. And, I don't know how everyone else's memory is. I don't have a photographic memory. I'm really good with cards. But when I go through a collection, I just take the notes because you never know, right? You don't know where you're going to end up in the end. And I learned this sometimes, even the deals you think you're not going to get, if you have the data, if you have the facts as you believe them to be, if you share them with people, it's very powerful to do that.
Yeah.
So even though we didn't agree on the 75 baseball set, I explained to him because he was like, oh, that seems like a really low number on the valuation. And I'm like, sir, I don't even need to look at my notes. The Robin Yount rookie was trimmed. It's missing the George Brett rookie.
Wow.
You probably have 450 cards. He's like, oh. I'm like, by the way, I'll still buy it. But it's not worth what you think it's worth.
Right.
And
well, he didn't do the homework, and you have to establish that you do.
Well, that's exactly it. And so I appreciate he said you were very well prepared. He appreciated how methodical I was. Said it was very professional. And like, listen, all that stuff is really great, but I joke with him, like, I'm not going to pay you more. So like, you can keep, floating pleasantries towards me. I love it. It'll help my ego. But unfortunately for the price, it won't help you.
Yeah.
But my methodology, and it's very simple, right? I handwrite, take a bunch of notes, and then I figure out the values. I put in a spreadsheet. He deducted like 17 line items at the end. And if everything was handwritten, it would have been a hot mess.
Yeah.
But because it was like, oh, binder number 6, delete it, too cheap. I don't want to sell it. No problem. So we ended up still doing a 5-figure deal, but he took back a lot of the bulk of his cards, 60s and 70s. And then I know you've been waiting patiently.
Yes.
This right here, along with a few highlights, which we're going to show off as well.
We got to see if Mike's still conscious here because he didn't like the tease.
All right, I'm going to try to switch over now, Lou. Okay, you let me know if that's good.
No, you had it for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hit it again? By the. All right, I'll hit it one more time.
There we go.
That good?
Yep.
All right. So let me know. We're all set. Great. I'm going
Yes.
to give them the bird's eye view like this, Lou. How do you like that? It's like this is being Leighton upon the gentleman arriving in our office. And what was so great is I started with binder 1 because it's just number 1 in the line.
Yep.
So I open it up. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of Gaudis. And I tried it. I know it's a little bit bad glare here. I apologize.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there's a lot of Gaudis, and I couldn't help myself. It's like wanting to eat dessert before you eat your dinner. I'm on page 2. I'm like, oh my God, stop torturing me. I'm like, are there any Roots or Garrigs? He's like, Leighton, take your time. I'm like, all right. So I take my time. And by the way, there's a few cards pulled out, which I'm going to show off in a minute. Bunch of Hall of Famers, low grade. And by the way, this is great stuff. I'm not blowing through it because I don't like it. I'm just blowing through it because there's better stuff.
No, you want to get to the roots, yeah.
Wait a minute. Did I not even? Are you kidding me? Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
So how you doing? There's a Jim Thorpe Sport King in there, which is like $1,000 plus card, right?
Good Lord.
And I'm like, do you have any Babe Ruths? He's like, Leighton, stop asking me questions. Go through the binder. I'm like, all right, it's fair. You drove down. So we're getting in here. We see some Diamond Stars. We see the Lefty Grove, which is, the number 1 card. There we go. So we're flipping through. Guess what? There's another Jim Thorpe.
Oh, hello.
Not good shape. I turn it over. He apologizes because it's rebacked. It's like it's really bad. Like someone put it together.
Yeah.
He's like, Leighton, I don't know who did that. I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm not going to blame you for it.
Yeah.
Like someone did. So I'm going to just move this. A little bit tight on the setup here. It's just not that great. Okay. There we go. A little bit easier now. All right. So we get a Howie Morenz Sport King, which I love. I'm trying to figure out the angle. There we go. See that?
Yep.
Okay. A bunch of 36 Gaudis. All right. So now I get to play balls. Notice how there's a card missing right here.
Yes.
I'm like, David, you got a Ted Williams rookie just kind of hanging out in like a 4-cent sleeve.
Oh my God.
He's like, well, yeah, this is how the cards were. I'm like, no, I get it, but it's a Ted Williams rookie. He's like, yeah. He's like, I think there's another. I'm like, David, stop. What are you talking about? And the guy's slow rolling me the whole time.
Yep.
So that's Ted Williams rookie number 1. All right. So we'll try to flip through.
Everyone's finding their own highlights here.
Yeah. I'm trying to go fast. I know we're over 2:00. What's up, Donald? So the bunch more play balls. Then what did you say, Jada? Okay. So then we get to some 1940 play balls. So there's a Knapp, there's a Mickey Cochran, some Hall of Famers. So then there's another box which I don't have here, and they're all loose. They're 39 play balls. Daniel Lynch will appreciate this. It's in like 100 count plastic case.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my God. There's another Ted Williams rookie. This one was nicer.
Good Lord.
So the deal has 2 Ted Williams rookies. By the way, once again, until I unearth them and put them in these card savers, they were in these 4-cent sheets.
Oh God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike Dorr, I tell you what year was the Bill Dickey? A 39? Because I know he collects that era. If you need that Bill Dickey, Mike, that is on me. And the reason I'm gifting that to him is because him and Daniel Lynch came down for our opening night.
Oh,
and
nice.
Mike Dorr got screwed out of the 1-of-1 Jeter auto. And I knew that this collection would be right up his alley. So if it's not the Bill Dickey, we'll give you something else from here, Mike. But I thought you would enjoy. So a bunch of kind of rare early strip cards. All right.
Glad you showed up, Mike, today.
This is the highlight.
Yep.
So it may not seem like much to the common eye, but 1935 National Chickle football are very, very difficult to find in any quantity. Okay. There's 52. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, I forgot. There's a 39 play ball DiMaggio I pulled out of the sheet also. So there was 2 Ted Williams and 1 DiMaggio.
Oh God! Wow.
Okay. So
Oh, by the way,
National Chico football are so rare, Lou. I couldn't tell you the last time I bought either out of auction or made a find, meaning bought a collection,
Mhm.
with anything more than 10 cards. Okay.
Yep. There's
Gang,
9.
there was 52 of them,
Oh my God! Wow.
with no less than a dozen high numbers. Okay. Including in the group a Newt Rockney, which is not a high number, lower grade. So get this. I'm getting goosebumps now. I can show you. Yeah, look, there you go. This is weird. There you go. Yeah, look at those good. So there you go. Look at this. So I'm going through. I'm like, no effing way. You have a Bronco Nagurski sitting in your sheet.
Oh God.
It's one of the most iconic football cards that was ever made, Lou.
Yep.
It's like that and the Beecher from the Allen and Ginter set.
Look at it. Looks so nice too. Nicely centered.
It's got a good eye appeal.
Yep.
It's a very, very valuable card. It's the most valuable card in the set. You know, it's thousands of dollars, you know, even in low grade. This one happens to be pretty decent shape. And the thing was just sitting in a 9-pocket sheet.
Donald getting his Minnesota on there. Thank you, Donald.
So put it this way, I couldn't even take the cards out of the sheets yet because I want to make a video, right? And, you know, the rest of the collection, there's some interesting non-sport cards, Mickey Mouse cards, but the highlight to me were the Chickles. And I know that we're over on time today, but I wanted to at least have some fun and show you all the collection. So what was awesome is we're doing business. He's being honest with me. I'm letting him know I want to buy everything. But then if you don't want to sell everything, you know, I'll buy what you're comfortable selling.
Yep.
And because he was able to still get a really nice check in terms of a total dollars amount of check and walk away with a bunch of his, let's call it family heirlooms, meaning, you know, his collection that he wants to share with the grandkids. It worked out for everyone.
Yep.
So really proud to say that we reached a deal. And he does have some more stuff, but he didn't say, is it more from that time period? Or is it more 60s and 70s? So only time will tell.
He's slow rolling you again.
He is, but
Yeah.
I did appreciate it. That deal, put it this way, I thought the deal was dead like 4 times over.
Yep.
Because I kept going. We were in front of the store meeting, and then he said at the end, can he make a call? That had to be the longest make a call. I mean, like, it's like 25 minutes. I'm like, did the guy go out for lunch?
Yeah.
You know, or did he just like, did he take the cards and leave? And, you know, Kristen, who was working up front, like, no, the cards are there. I'm like, you know, the guy didn't leave the cards there, you know, without a check.
Wonder what call that was too, because again, he didn't dig into it too much before he started to talk to you. So he was okay with the bigger pieces, with the prices on the bigger pieces. It was the bulk that he wanted a little bit more for.
And what happened was, Lou, his son, who originally wasn't interested in his dad's collection, when hearing the amount of money he was going to get for dad's portion of the collection, was like, you know, it's not worth it to sell. And I could hear the guy's father saying, like, well, that's not what you said before I hit the road with the stuff. You said, get out of the house, Dad.
Yeah.
I'm moving. So, you know, it's
Every
really easy to play
collection has
money
a story,
quarterback in
doesn't
one
it?
day.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But
yeah.
we're real excited to secure this one. We're going to focus when we write it up specifically on the National Chico football component of it, because that's the biggest, like I said, National Chico football find that I've made in years, and it also happens to have the most valuable card in the set. So we're super pumped.
All right. We're producing the YouTube channel video here on Leighton's Loft today. So you're going to have to go back to YouTube and get locked in for the break, and we'll give away the prizes, participation prizes for the show here. So, and if
Yes.
you're watching on Leighton's Loft, head on over to YouTube and find the new stream. It's going to start up in a couple minutes.
Yep, it'll be at youtube.com/vintagebreaks.